All right, Joshua.
Yes.
Joshua, where'd you grow up? Where are you from
I
originally?
grew up on 5700 block, Michigan, in South St. Louis, Missouri.
And tell me about your family.
My mom is a opiate, meth, coke addict. My dad is the first leader of the Aryan Brotherhood chapter of St. Louis, and for St. Louis and um, Farmington, which is St. Francis County. Um, my dad has 20 kids. My mom has 3. My grandparents raised me, for about 10 years. Then my dad's half black son, their family adopted me because I was being neglected and abused. So, you know,
So your dad is the head of the Aryan Brotherhood,
yes, first chief.
but he has a half black son.
Yeah, because he raped a black woman.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's because they don't like black people, and that was the repercussion of some black man did something to somebody, and that's what they chose to do. And it's fucked up. He spent 2 years in prison for it.
How would you describe your childhood?
Um, when I was growing up, like when I was an infant, my dad was had a meth lab, and I was living with it. My dad and my mom. My dad had a meth lab, an anhydrous meth lab, and I got fed like maybe once a week by them, and so I was like, whenever I was 3 months, I was 16 pounds, and I was supposed to be like 25 or 30 or something around there, and so my family would come over and see a McDonald's, like 3 McDonald's fries on the tray that had been there moldy for a week that I was eating. And my dad would, if I didn't eat fast enough, would take my food away, which has grown into, for my entire life so far, when I eat in less than 5 minutes. Anything. I have a full plate of food stacked. Less than 5 minutes, it's gone. Because I feel like my food's gonna be taken away, and it's just stuck in my head, it's imprinted. And then my grandparents, they absolutely hated me. They said that I was a problem child, and they threatened to take me to the orphanage and whatever or not, because my dad, whenever I was 6 months old, 7 months old, around there, his meth lab got busted in, and he shot the cop in the head with a shotgun, and now he served 20 years, and he got out when I was 20 years old. And when he got out, he's still the biggest asshole in the world, and told me that, he loves me, but he can't fuck with me. But he'll protect me and help me with whatever I need, but he can't fuck with me. So I've only hung out with my dad probably like 6 times in my entire life.
Hmm. So he was in prison for most of your childhood.
All my childhood.
Who took you to school or did stuff like that?
The Aryan Brotherhood members that he would send would take me to school, drop me off. Because I got bullied a lot because I had separation issues from not having a mom, not having a dad. My mom was in prison, my dad was in prison, my mom was in and out. My mom prostituted whatever she could do to make whatever money, sugar daddies. My dad, the only thing I ever got from him throughout my whole childhood while he was locked up was a Nintendo 64 Pikachu edition. I remember he had got me Donkey Kong, and 25 Aryan Brotherhood's members came over to give it to me, and then they sat outside at my grandparents without their permission, getting told to leave, singing Christmas carols. So you see a bunch of grown men singing Christmas carols outside my grandparents. and that was not not my grandparents' style, but it was funny.
What do the Aryan Brotherhood members kind of get into? What is it
What
selling
do they
drugs?
do? They are the largest producers of methamphetamine in the United States, and like all the routes, Route 66 being the biggest trade route. St. Louis is not where the meth is made, as people like to believe it is. It's what we call Jefferson County, which is Arnold, Fenton, Hillsborough, which is a country, country farmland, and they make, like when I pulled up freezers with my dad of crystal meth, we pull out one freezer was 400 pounds of crystal, and that made my dad $2.2 million usually, like one freezer, but about 2.2, and he's still, how should I say this? Allegedly does it today.
And so where has your adult life taken you?
I met my wife when I was 22. Her name's Kate. She has her issues as well. Like, she got molested by her dad, stuff like that. So she has, issues with men. And my dad and my mom and my grandparents didn't like her. My dad threatened to have her killed and whatever. And I try to prevent that. And so my wife was on fentanyl for 6 years at the time. I had never did Fetty. I only did crystal. And I drove her to go pick it up one night, and we got T-boned by a police officer, which you guys can look up on the news. I blew a light. The light was yellow. I was trying to get past it. My dad had bought me an '01 Ford F-150 Harley Davidson edition with a spoiler and a hood scoop, supercharged. And I thought my truck was fast enough, and the police officer that was driving was going 80 miles an hour and hit us on my side. We rolled 7 times. I broke all my ribs, as can be seen. They're all going inwards instead of being, normal place would be out about there.
Right.
They're all inwards, and they all move. They all can dislocate. And then, they got broken out here when I got hit with a steel pole, and then I got stabbed out here. So I've been shot twice. Been shot right here, and I've been shot in the back of my head. And then, back to the car accident. I never been knocked out. Nobody's ever been man enough to knock me out, is the way I like to put it. But during the car accident, the only reason my wife survived it was I grabbed her by her hair and pulled her to me, because the way that she was going was the car hit from my side, so her head jerked this way, and her window hit the concrete first. So I would have slammed her head into the concrete because she wasn't wearing her seatbelt, and I was not either. And my gun flew and hit her in the head, knocked her out, and went out the window. I had a Taurus, a G3 Millennium, and it laid her ass out. I felt bad, but that's probably really also what saved her from being freaked out. It hit us so hard, it knocked her shoes off her feet. And yeah, then I started using fentanyl because I did crystal, wouldn't give me no opiates. And I laid in the floor crying for 3 days before I told my wife to get a syringe and fill it up. I never used needles. And they hit me with it so that I could feel better. It's the only thing that took away the pain. And it still is.
And you've been addicted to fentanyl ever since.
I quit when I came out here. I came out here first before my wife for 2 months. I came out here August 28th, and she came out here October 9th. And I got off Fetty, but then somebody snuck up behind me and re-broke my ribs with a steel pole. And because they thought I was trying to get with their woman. I am loyal to my wife. I've never cheated on her ever. You know, I can't say the same for her, but I forgive her. She's, she has her issues. Nobody's perfect, and, it is what it is till it ain't. You can't dwell on somebody's mistakes. You gotta dwell on what makes them who they are as an individual. And her as an individual she's the sweetest, most beautiful, kindest woman that I've ever met. Like, right now she's mad at me, but she's still, why is she mad at me? I slept on her lap. She sat up and let me sleep on her lap, so I had a cushion last night. Because I hadn't slept for 2 days. And she rubbed my head till I fell asleep. And she stayed awake to watch her stuff. And I really can't thank her enough for everything she has done for me. Because she has, when we didn't have money for dope, she's prostituted herself. Which, that hurts. Because I should be able to support her. But hopefully things will get better.
Where are you guys staying now?
On the streets. By MacArthur Park. That's the only place we got. Sorry about that, bro. We had a place when we first got here with one of my GD gang members. And he lost his place because he let me stay there. And, we tried to leave to go stay on the street so many times, and he said, if they kick me out, they kick me out. But he's like, until I'm out, you guys aren't out. And it's been rough, but we're trying to make it through it. I'm a certified auto mechanic. I went, schooling, and I moved to LA for a fresh start to get me and my lady away from all the drama and bullshit. We weren't homeless in St. Louis, but my family didn't like her, and we came out here, had a place to stay, that got shot down. She has a felony warrant in Illinois, and they won't extradite her from here. So that's why we can't go back. Because if she goes to prison, I don't know what I would do. That's my best friend. That's my everything. Like, I would die for her. I would take a prison sentence for her. And I don't know, if one thing I can tell everybody is, you guys stay stronger than the other people around you, because nobody's going to be your support except for your significant other. And I have fucked up, and me and her have gotten into fights, and I've sadly, I pulled her hair, I've smacked her, and I regret it. It hurts. It bothers me that I've done it. And I apologize to her consistently, because she didn't deserve that, regardless. She hit me first, but I'm a grown-ass man. I should be able to step away. But LA will tear your relationships apart. So if anybody comes out here, man, you and your significant other, you guys are who you got. What people are going to try to tear y'all apart, don't believe them. They're lying to you. Any more questions, buddy?
Do you have any friends?
Do I have any friends?
Other than your wife, do you have any friends?
The one, oh, what's his name? I'm bad with names. Billy. One of your people. He's more of an acquaintance and a friend still, but he's been good to me, and my only friend's been my wife. She's the only one that has my back, and that's what a friend is. Somebody who takes care of you and watches your back and makes sure you don't get fucked over, or make sure that you're not upset or sad. And I hope that me and her last forever, because if she ever chooses to be done with me, I don't think I'm gonna live much longer after that. Because she's everything to me.
Is that your biggest fear?
It's my only fear. I'm not scared of anything, buddy. I'm not scared of God. I'm scared of losing her.
Your chaotic childhood, is that what you'd point a finger at for all the crazy twists and turns your life has taken?
I can't say that because we all have free will. It definitely influenced it. It definitely put a strain. It makes me more aggressive, and like it takes a toll. Not having a dad for most of my life, and then him popping and basically turn to where you do this, and you have to do it because the first time I told him no, he broke my nose and shattered my teeth. That's not from drugs. That's from my dad. And he told me to suck it up, buttercup. And so I did.
Do you feel like life is unfair?
Life isn't supposed to be fair. I think everybody should have an equal chance, though. I don't wish the parents being gang members on anybody. Nobody. I'm a gang member myself. But my gang, as a gangster disciple, we loyalty, love, respect, wisdom, knowledge. Those are the main traits, and understanding. Like, we don't believe in hurting children or hurting your children or even hurting the process. Well, me putting my hands on my wife, that's against our code. I shouldn't have done that, and I do blame it, the fact that my mom, as I grew up, and her being in and out, my mom treated me like shit, like beat me whatever she could. Like when I was 11, she smacked me so hard she broke her arm, and then she told the hospital that I broke her arm, by jumping on it. So, and I had to spend time in juvie for that, and I didn't do anything. So, life being fair, it ain't gonna be fair, but everybody does have an opportunity to change their situation. I've lost my ID and everything, and so, I had to get that back. I owe money to people for something I didn't do, so that shows how fair life is.
How has your life changed when you were addicted to crystal meth as opposed to now when you're addicted to fentanyl?
When I was on crystal, I worked every single day. I was a first assistant manager at Circle K. I worked over 80 hours a week. I had nice fat paychecks. I ordered Xanax on the dark web. and I sold them. I made 10 grand every 3 days. 10,000 bars would come in. I'd make another 10 grand in 3 days. And I ordered them with my paychecks. And so it had me more motivated. When I got on fentanyl, my motivation's high, but my drive to actually get it completed isn't there anymore. My perfectionism isn't there anymore. My life isn't there anymore. Everything's changed.
What's your biggest regret?
Putting my hands on my wife. That's my only regret. Not loving her like I should.
Joshua, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Don't do drugs. They are not worth it, and they never will be. If somebody offers it to you, I'm not saying go snitch him out to no police. Don't do that. Just say no. There's no reason to do it. There's no reason anybody needs to do it. If your parents are gang members, try to get to a different, see if you can live with a family member. Get yourself out of that predicament, because after I got shot twice, I've been stabbed. It's not fun. I ran around with assault rifles in St. Louis and shot at cars and shot at police and never got caught. And, there's no proof of who did it. But is it really a good thing? No. Is it fun? No. The whole thrill is the part of getting caught. Why do you want to go to prison for life? For a joyride with a gun? You don't.
All right, Joshua, thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're welcome, man.
Wish you lots of luck out here. Thanks.
Thank you.